Hello, welcome to Switched On, Paul speaking, and welcome to what personally for me is one of the highlights of the year, and that is the Football Manager release. And of course, being a Switch channel, the version on the Switch, Football Manager Touch, which we've been graced with for the last 3 or 4 years. And here we are with this latest version, Football Manager Touch 2021. It comes a couple of weeks after the PC release, and this is actually on the Xbox this year as well, and Stadia. So Sports Interactive and Sega really branching out this year and going aggressively after the consoles. They were questioned about where they're going to put it on the PlayStation, but apparently Sony didn't want the game. So I don't know. That's between Sony and Sega. But there you go. It's on a lot of platforms this year. And of course on the Switch. So we're going to have a look at what's new. I think that'd be a good place to start. So we're going to go here with what's new in FM21 Touch. And then we'll get into some gameplay. So first things first, the match experience. It says match days are like you've never seen them before. Graphical improvements and redesigned display allow you to see more of the action, all while receiving targeted information from your assistant. For the first time in the Touch series, you'll also be able to communicate directly with your players during matches by using shouts. Now, the other new additions in the game are okay, but for me, this new match experience is really good. I mean, it's, you know, you want to be cynical about it. It's a fresh layer of paint. It looks different, and you'll see that shortly. But the inclusion of shout-outs is nice as well, because it does add a little bit more depth. This basically allows you to communicate with your players during the match, so you can encourage them or praise them. You can, reprimand them, demand more of them. So that sort of thing gives the game a little bit more depth than it had last year, which is what we're looking for. Whilst it isn't the full fat Football Manager experience of including sort of press conferences and personal meetings with players, it is a little bit of extra. And all the welcome for it. So, end of season experience, which it's a bit of a back of the box headline, isn't it? It's not going to be great for everybody. Basically, it says success will feel all the sweeter. Trophy celebrations will be more significant, and you'll get more analysis on what went right, your biggest wins, and areas of improvement as you look to cement your legacy. Do we care? I don't think I've even ever won a trophy in Football Manager, but if you are going for trophies, you're going to have a bit of a better celebration. And some more statistical breakdown. Talking of which, the next point here, analysis and stats. It says data is an increasingly important part of the modern game, and you'll learn more about your team's strengths and weaknesses and how to address them. Benefit from new stats and clear visualization during matches in team reports, as well as data reports in news items and end of season summaries. I will say, I'm a big fan of stats and analysis, so this is right in my wheelhouse. But it does make a difference, and one of the nicest stats this year is I think it's called the GX, is it? The goals chance, something like that. The perceived goals chance from all different various stats are fed into that. You might have seen it on Match of the Day in the last couple of years. But it's basically what you're expected. I think it's XG, isn't it? Expected goals. So you can kind of see what was expected from the chances you created and your current form and stuff like that versus what you did in the match, so you can see if you're above or below expectation. So that's a nice thing as well. But the other stats are quite nice as well, and you'll see in the new sort of matchday experience how the stats work on that. Finally, graphics and visuals. Got improved animations, face gen technology, and alpha blended hair for manager models complement an enhanced lighting system and additional stadium elements to produce the most realistic and best looking match action yet. The latter, okay, good, I'm all in for that. The first part, who really cares? Let's be honest. Face gen technology and alpha blended hair. I mean, come on, you barely see the manager you create at the start of the game. I wouldn't mind so much if that played a much bigger part, like the manager was sort of shown a lot more, or in sort of in-game cutscenes or something like that. But really, I do not care about that. The game does look slightly better in action, and it is slightly smoother, so I will give them that. And again, we'll have a look at that in a second. But I just thought I'd give you those headlines. Those are the things that are new in FM21 Touch. I should say as well, this game is available today. I think it actually came out. It came out earlier today, didn't it? On the 14th of December. And as I said, it comes from Sega, and we'll set you back £29.99 in the UK. So let's get into a game, and I can show you some gameplay. So here we are at a familiar match screen. It has had a little bit of a facelift. You see some moving graphics in the background there now, which isn't too bad. I don't find that too distracting. It looks quite nice. And just some of the fonts and stuff have been touched up a little bit. There's this little tabbed area at the top here that you can just flick through with the L and R buttons, which is quite nice. Frustratingly, they do change their buttons around quite often, so there is a bit of a shuffle around the buttons again this time. ZL now brings up this menu on the left hand side. Minus is your main menu. Plus now brings up kind of like your manager menu where you can go on holiday and discuss your contracts and stuff like that. So there are a few little differences, no doubt about that. But let's click on through the game and we'll just pick up some of the new things as we go towards our next game against Everton, which is in a few days. But along that way, we can see some of the new things. And straight away, here is one of the new things. We've got the data analysis come through from our analyst, or our assistant manager, Tom Perdomo here at Southend. So it's from our last game. You can see our expected goals. We were expected to score 1.5. Stourbridge were expected to score basically 0, and the game came out 2-0, so not too far off that if you round it up. And there's the XG. That's how the XG is worked out. Chances, as I say, and stuff like that, produces this graph. We've now got this shot map, which shows you where the shots were taken, and you can review those. And this is a really nice one here. This is a average position map of your players, so you can see what areas they were picking up. See, for example, here, number 9 for Southend is Simeon Akinola. Was very much involved a lot in this area. Apologies for the jumpy cursor, by the way. It's a little bit sensitive. But yeah, this bright white area here means he was really heavily involved around the area, and the other guys were kind of spread around. But this is really useful for seeing, again, especially for your strikers, you know, what positions they're getting into. Fullbacks, fullbacks and wingers, if they're sticking to their positions and stuff. So that's really cool. We've got some breakdowns here. We had 299 passes, broken down into different lengths and directions, which again is a nice little touch. So really, as I say, big fan of all the statistical analysis, and game's much better for it. So that's really cool. Still get the same sort of layout here. So we've got the news coming in from the side here. We don't want to take the scouting induction. I want to crack on. So here we go. We've got to go past this next section. We've got the Carabao Cup draw. We've had our friendly cancelled out, and a Carabao Cup game is against MK Dons at home, so that's quite a nice little draw. Game goes on. I would say it's comparable to last year's game in terms of load speed and sort of just general speed of the game. Nothing seems sort of excessively speeded up. We've got something we must respond to. Don't want to take the backroom staff induction. We've already done that. Again, a lot of the stuff is the same from last year. Friendly agreed at Sutton. Take you to the squad of players at the minute and just have a look around the new squad layout. This is the squad induction information. If you want to go around the squad, we can actually do that. Let's just take a look while we're here at that. So just these inductions, you can turn them on or off, depends how experienced you are at the game, but it basically just walks you through the screens, what the screens do, and what you can do in there. There's a couple of new icons here compared to last year's game. You see there the condition now represented in this column by a heart, which wasn't in last year's game, so that's something new to look out for as well. And we just flick through all of these little tutorials. So we've got medical assessment here of our players that are on training, so whether to risk them or not. Again, similar to last year's game. Let's actually go into our squad and take a look at that. So ZL to bring up the side menu, and we can go to our squad that we're just looking at. Let's have a look at a player. Let's pick out somebody, a new signing here for Southend, Sam Hart. Actually, let's pick someone that's actually got a face photo. Not all of them have. Timothy Diang, I believe, has got a face photo. There we go. Just looks a little bit nicer. And again, the same as all the past Football Manager games, the top divisions aren't licensed. So whilst they have the right players, they won't have photo packs or badges or that kind of thing, which is a bit of a shame. And of course, on the PC, you can get downloads and mods to bring that back. But no such luck of doing that on the Switch. But here we are. So I quite like how they've done it this year in terms of these tabs with the L and R button. It makes it much easier to flick through the different tabs for each player. Got a lot of information now, which is cool, but I can't see anything else that's majorly different. Just as I flick through, we've got transfer information. That looks a bit more detailed than last year. To be honest, we've got, just the layout's slightly easier to read. Can do individual training again like last year. These reports as well, where the scouts can report on the strengths and weaknesses of the players. Player comparison, that's it's not new, but again it looks slightly nicely laid out, and history is the same as before. So we're just going to flick through this now. We'll skip through any of the other inductions. Get into the friendlies where all the excitement happens. Now what tends to happen with these Football Manager releases is that you'll find the last year's game will be removed from the store. So the only version you can get now on the store will be FM21. So 2019, 18, for example, all being removed from the store as they normally are. There's nothing new there. It's just the way that Sega likes to operate with these things. It's going to make some changes. It's just going to, again, same as last year, you can just drag people around to make changes. Let's make a couple of changes there. I'm just going to get into the game. In essence, a lot of the game is similar to last year's, but it depends how dedicated you are to Football Manager. If you like the updated teams and squads, a bit like FIFA in that regard, really. You're getting all the updated data, new kits, new teams in the divisions that have been promoted and stuff like that. Bit of a fresh new look and some nice new features. As I say, it's nice to have those analysis and stats things. There is a nice new feature here as well, actually. I really like this new pre-match screen. Like this a lot. You're kind of like a football program kind of look for the lineup, which is really nice. And you get this little social media feed as well. So your press officer picks out a couple of tweets, which gives you a little bit of an insight to how the fans are feeling. So you see here, fans moaning about good ship starting, but pleased to see Heart starting. So I quite like this. Again, it's just a bit of a shiny coat of paint. Doesn't really add anything to the gameplay as such, but does just make the game look and feel a bit nicer. So here we are. This is where the biggest changes are. On the matchday screen, you can see this is pretty much completely changed. We've now got the team at the bottom, a quick overview of basically who's playing, the current rating, the current morale level, and as we said a few minutes ago, the green heart there, the current condition. You see their heart is ironically Heart's heart has started to reduce as his condition weakens, and you can press the X button and switch that to the substitutes bench. And then from here you can click on a player and interact with them in quite a lot of ways. You can change their position, change their instructions, you can give them the shouts, which is the new thing, so you can see that: encourage, calm down, focus, fire up, no pressure, demand more, praise and berate. And you can arrange a substitute from here. So this is really cool, quick access to these things that maybe took a few more clicks in last year's game and looks much nicer. And you can see here the matchday engine just feels so much more smoother than it was last year. There was quite a big issue with frame rate last year, which was a little bit annoying, but much smoother last year, especially considering the rain's coming down in this game. Nice and smooth gameplay, which is nice. It's a little bit sore in the eyes and head last year at times if you played it for any period of time in one session. Let's just see what Everton can do. We've got Andre Gomez to Alex Iwobi. And Calvert-Lewin sticks it away. Not entirely unexpected. Everton take the lead in this friendly against Southend. And we get the action replay. We'll just have a look at a few other things on this screen. We can now... Oh, it's another nice feature as well that was a bit annoying last year. You can now easily just skip the replay by pressing the B button, which is nice. You can hide this new team layout by clicking this little down arrow in the corner. So you can bring that up at any time. I would like that bound to a button. Would be nice, so I could just hide that whenever I wanted. But there you go. You can't do that. Press the plus button. Brings up a more detailed tactical look at your team. If you want to make sort of minute changes. Player instructions, set pieces, captains. You can view the opposition. And any match plans that you've enabled as well. I like these match plans. I use these a lot, so you can sort of add a scenario. So if you're like a goal behind, for example, you can change your tactics, and it's just sort of dynamic. So it's based on the plans that you set up. Saves you having to go in and tinker things, which is really useful. Just press the well, should be able to press the plus button to get rid of that. No, that's not going away. Right. Press ZR and go on to the second half. Got this visualizer here, which shows the attacking, again slightly different to last year, and these are the areas that you're dominating, again presented slightly differently. We've got the assistant manager here, making suggestions. So one of our players are taking a knock, he wants to make a substitution. So that's happened there. You can see the expected goals going up and down. So we're currently expecting to lose this 1-0, which we are at the moment. So if that creeps up, then we might see another goal from Everton. If we score it, it'll be dead against the run of play. So that's quite useful. And again, the dugout here, missed it there, but the assistant manager now makes sort of constant suggestions about substitutions, about forms of players and stuff like that. So that's a new useful addition. So I would say overall this game, obviously every Football Manager game is fairly similar, just a few headline additions. But I would say the additions this year are actually worthwhile because they're in the match day engine where you're going to be spending most of your time. And it's going to make the biggest impact really because it's these matches that you're managing, and this is where you want the most impactful changes. So I think they've chosen the right area to focus on, and whilst giving the rest of the game a bit of a lick of paint and smoothing a few of the rough edges off. So I think that's all good. Just a note as well, there is cross-play saves from the PC version to the Xbox, but again this year no cross saves to the Switch version, which is a real shame because I would love to play this on my PC and then pick up my save on the Switch when I'm on the go anywhere, or pottering around the house rather than being sat on my PC. But again, unfortunately, that's not an option this year. Hopefully they will do it because some games do. The Witcher 3, for example, has got cross-platform save with the PC. A couple of other games as well. So it isn't like it's something that's impossible to do. But hopefully it'll be a feature that gets added in next year maybe. But there you go. We'll probably do some more coverage of this over the coming days. Maybe something a little bit more in depth at the weekend. Please let me know below if there's anything specific you want to know or want me to cover, and I will try to do that. I'll probably try and stick a review up as well. We're just going to okay a few substitutions there. But I just wanted to bring you like an early look at this and just show you the headline changes, and mainly just show you the new match engine and to show you how that's different. I'm just going to make a quick substitution here. Bring on Alan McCormack for Kyle Taylor. And we will confirm that change. And there we go. So just to see that, these things are different. I really like the new changes. I think they're a positive step, which is all you can ask for in sort of these iteration like sports games where, they just release every year. You want to see some positive changes, and we've got them there. This is a little bit of a graphical glitch there. It hasn't loaded in all the shirts. It has been okay before that. But here we get some of the staff feedback, which is good as well. Talking about our XG and who our best player was. I'm sure there'll be more tactical stuff, more feedback stuff to come as we get more into it and more sort of experience with the players, that kind of thing. But there you go. That is Football Manager Touch 2021 on the Nintendo Switch. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. As I say, leave me a comment below if you don't mind. If you like this one, if you're going to be buying it, or if you want me to look at anything else for you, gladly do that. And please subscribe if you're new. It'd be very welcome to have you on board. But I will leave it all there. Say thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you all next time. Thanks for watching. See you again soon. Bye bye.